Let's head to Abuja now, where the Chartered Institute of Directors annual conference has gathered business leaders, policymakers and governance experts to explore strategies for building resilient, sustainable and future-ready organizations. Now, with conversations centered on strengthening institutional capacity for risk, resilience and recovery, the event continues to spotlight leadership excellence and good governance as key drivers for national development. Let's now turn to the President of Chartered Institute of Directors, Adetunji Oyebanji, to speak to us on the ongoing conference and its prospects. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Now, you're welcome. Now, this year's conference has brought together leaders from across sectors to discuss resilience and institutional capacity. So, sir, from your perspective, how significant are these conversations in shaping Nigeria's corporate and also governance landscape?
Well, they're very significant because Nigeria, like every other part of the world, is undergoing a lot of change. Change in the sense, in the case of Nigeria, a lot of reforms have taken place. A lot of reforms are still in the pipeline. And also on the global stage, there are a lot of changes in terms of geopolitical issues in various parts of the world, which obviously impact the economy of the world in different ways. So because of that, you know, we need to focus boards of directors in how do you manage through this kind of change? How do you also take account of things like artificial intelligence, climate change? These are all things that bring about change, not only within our own country, but globally. So I think it's very, very important that we focus on these things and prepare boards to be able to manage and lead through such changes.
Well, sir, so in a period marked by economic uncertainty and also evolving businesses and business models, what role do you believe that CIoD should play in guiding directors towards more sustainable and forward-thinking leadership then?
There are lots of areas in which we can contribute and help. Firstly, a lot of the programs that we run in the Institute are focused on things like ESG, which has to do with the economic, social, and governance issues, environment issues. So we do run a lot of programs that focus on those areas. The conference actually itself is themed Leading Through Change, building sustainable and resilient enterprises. Again, this is another area that focuses on how do we prepare the directors in this country to be able to manage better, to be able to lead better in an environment where there's so much change. I've spoken about the reforms that are taking place earlier. You know, I talked about things like artificial intelligence, cybercrime. These are all new things that are becoming more important day to day in running businesses, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. So the emphasis of CIoD is to prepare our members, who are mostly directors in companies in Nigeria, you know, to be better equipped, to be able to manage the risks associated with those changes, to be able to predict the future better, and be innovative in terms of dealing with the various changes that are taking place.
Mr. Oyebanji, how exactly are you preparing these directors? What are you using? Is it training, or is it advocacy? Is it policy influence, or maybe even peer collaboration? I just want to know the detail of this.
Okay, I would say it's a mix of everything. Of course, you know, the main focus area of the Institute is capacity building. So, of course, we do a lot of training. We also have an affiliate institution, the CIoD Institute of Corporate Governance. So a lot of time is spent. We offer many programs for directors in all these various areas. But beyond that, advocacy is one of the things that we also spend a lot of our time doing. This conference, for instance, is a tool for advocacy. Today we had the Minister of Budget and Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, CON, who represented the President and Commander-in-Chief, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GC, FR, at the conference. So through this kind of interactions, through the platform presented by a conference like this, we also, interact with government officials. We also had a representative of the Minister of Finance at the conference. We also had the Minister of Education at the conference today, and various other government officials. We also had a representative of the head of the civil service. So again, one of the areas, we help to develop directors is through this kind of interaction with government, where we can also influence policy in terms of, again, preparing directors to be able to prepare themselves for managing sustainability in their organizations.
So, Oyebanji, I want to see, or I want to ask where Nigeria is or how Nigeria positions when it comes to global standards. So I'm wondering what some of the reforms or strategic priorities you believe must be advanced to align corporate governance practices in Nigeria with global best standards.
Well, again, a very important question. First, I don't think we are where we need to be. We have a lot of work to do, both within corporate organizations, but also within the public sector. The Nigerian state owns many companies, starting, for example, from companies like NNPC. There are many other, state-owned organizations. And I think it's important for the best standards of corporate governance to be present not only within the private sector, but also in the public sector entities. So a lot of training and a lot of capacity building, I think, is very important. For us, in addition, collaboration is very important. So we are entering collaboration with various institutions, organizations like the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, for instance, the Civil Service of the Federation, the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, MOFI. These are institutions that we want to develop collaborations with so that we can help to transmit the best corporate governance practices so that they are established not only within the private sector enterprises. Most of our companies, most of our members belong to private sector enterprises, but increasingly we're bringing people also from the public sector to come on board so that the message of corporate governance is spread far and wide within this country. And we believe that as corporate governance standards improve, as companies and directors begin to equip themselves to manage sustainability, to manage the changes that are taking place, I think things will continue to improve from there.
Grand. Mr. Adetunji Oyebanji, President of CIoD Institute of Directors, I want to say thank you very much for joining us tonight.